These people are systematically oppressed by their own government.
We've been waking up to horrific stories every day, heartbreaking images separating mothers from their children.
They live in a police state, where they're monitored by one of the most advanced and intrusive surveillance systems in the world.
Imagine that the police force you to stand in front of a camera for biometric data collection.
Every online activity is tracked.
Imagine that the police force you to install spying app on your phone.
Their religion is restricted. Many traditional Muslim names are even banned for newborns.
Party officials are frequently attacking Islam as very old-fashioned, very backward.
These are some of the suspected detention camps where an estimated 1 million Uyghurs are held. Many of them have not been heard from since being detained. Uyghurs are a Turkic-speaking Muslim minority in China, living mostly in the sensitive frontier province of Xinjiang. It's more than 4 times the size of Germany and borders 8 countries. It's home to some 11 million Uyghurs, but because of immigration from the rest of the country, today nearly half of Xinjiang's population is Han, China's dominant ethnic group. Nuri Tekel grew up in Xinjiang. A Uyghur now living in America, he campaigns against the oppression of his people. But speaking out against China can be dangerous.
I worry my public advocacy will cause some unthinkable consequences to my family members. I haven't seen my mother for 15 years. This is the mildest form of torture that the Chinese government is imposing on us.
The Communist Party seems determined to crush Uyghur identity and is going about it in a systematic way. Although China has long been suspicious of the Uyghurs, as it has been of many minority groups, its worries increased after Al-Qaeda's attack on America on 9/11.
After 9/11, the Chinese government taking an opportunistic position, claiming they are also a victim of global terrorism.
In the minds of the party leaders, the Uyghurs are different, and different is bad because the control of the Communist Party is the only thing that stands between China and total chaos. In addition to that, there had been outbreaks of terrorism. So there was a sense that Xinjiang especially was getting out of control and needed to be brought back in line.
In 2014, a group of Uyghur terrorists went on a stabbing rampage in Kunming railway station, killing 31 people. This was one of several attacks that fueled the government's hostility towards the Uyghurs.
The Chinese government likens Uyghur to a cancerous tumor, Uyghur Islam as a mental illness.
Relations between Uyghurs and Han Chinese in Xinjiang have been tense for years. An eruption of violence in 2009 led the Chinese government to step up security. But it wasn't until Xi Jinping came to power that China really tightened its grip on the Uyghurs. Between 2012 and 2017, China's domestic security budget doubled. In Xinjiang, it tripled. In 2016, Xi Jinping appointed Chen Cheng-kuo as the party secretary of the province. This was a calculated move to suppress the Uyghurs.
Chen Cheng-kuo is a hand-picked official trusted by Xi Jinping, handling 2 of China's most sensitive regions.
Mr. Chen had a track record. He was party boss in Tibet from 2011 to 2016, another region where China wanted to crush ethnic unrest. He introduced a system of pervasive and insidious control. He increased police presence, stepped up the communist propaganda campaign in Buddhist temples, and created a culture of fear, encouraging neighbours to spy on one another. Now he has taken these tested methods to Xinjiang. Images of Xi Jinping have been placed in some mosques and on prayer mats across the province, an act that offends religious sensibilities. Beards and face veils have been banned, as have some halal products. This 800-year-old mosque is one of many that has been closed or bulldozed. The Uyghur language is banned in schools in parts of Xinjiang. Uyghur heritage is being wiped out.
It's a cultural genocide. It's a very specific purpose, systematic method, and ultimate goal. That is to stamp out Uyghur identity.
China is using world-leading hyper-surveillance techniques in Xinjiang. Face recognition cameras monitor Uyghurs on the streets. Spy apps track them online.
My own family have deleted me from their social media connections. Imagine that you missed your mother's and father's birthdays because contacting them will endanger their lives and may lead them to end up in the camps.
Party informants even spy on Uyghurs in their own homes. Roughly half of households are paired with a party member who can drop in at any time.
This official comes to their house, gives the children presents, talks to them about the wonders of Chinese communism, and of course reports back all sorts of details of interest to the authorities.
If you stand in the way, we'll take you in a camp. It's very clear policy.
Many Uyghurs have been detained in camps. China has spent hundreds of millions of dollars building at least 90 new compounds like these. People can be imprisoned for many reasons, or none at all.
We don't quite know how many people are in these camps, but probably the latest figures are at least 1 million people are in camps. Now, that's of the order of 1 in 6 of the adult population. That's an enormous number.
Inside, Uyghurs are brainwashed. There are also reports of inmates being tortured.
According to the survivor's personal account, they're forcing Uyghurs to denounce their religion. You have to allow us to convert you, to be reformatted, reprogrammed, to become just another Han Chinese.
China's official line is that the camps are designed to re-educate extremists and fight terrorism. But there's another reason, and it has to do with China's ambitious economic project known as the Belt and Road Initiative.
5年前，我提出了共建“一带一路”的倡议。
Loosely based on the historic Silk Road, this vast collection of infrastructure projects seeks to connect China with Africa and Europe. This would significantly expand China's economic influence. It spans over 70 countries and will cost hundreds of billions of dollars.
Xinjiang is sort of central to Xi Jinping's grand project. That project is Xi Jinping's sort of signature foreign policy. And therefore Xinjiang is so important to that he just does not want any trouble coming from Xinjiang.
The Uyghurs are victims of China's determination to exercise complete control over its population. Their future is uncertain.
I don't want you to end up in history books. I want to live just like anyone else. And my people deserve to live in this world with respect and dignity.